Lights out.
Hello. Looking for a good book to relax with tonight? Well, you've come to the right place. We have thousands of them. There's one in particular, an old and strangely curious one. Come, I'll get it for you. Lights out.
Is it too late to take a book from the library?
Why, no, sir. We won't be closing for another half hour.
So you won't. I thought it was later.
Well, it's these late fall afternoon, sir. You remember the library?
Yes. For many years. My name's John Eldred.
Well, I'll just have to check the register if you don't mind.
Not at all. You're new here, aren't you?
I know, sir. I've been here 5 years.
I see. Well, I don't get up to Boston very often, but I think the other attendant would have remembered me.
Yes, I'm sure he would, sir. Yes, it's all right, Mr. Eldred. You can go upstairs and get your book.
I wonder if someone would be good enough to find it for me. I've developed a heart condition since I was here last, and my doctor's forbidden stairs. And I have the name of the book all written out.
Oh, of course, I'll go myself. I'll just be a minute. I think I remember seeing you before, Mr. Eldred, though not quite recently.
I live in Bretfield in the Berkshires. It's a year since I visited Boston.
A year now, that's right. Let's see, it was just getting dark. I was going around turning all the lights on, and we nearly collided. You remember?
I'm afraid not.
It was on the stairs, halfway to the top floor. I was going up, and you were coming down suddenly, running.
I was probably running to catch my train.
Oh, yes. What book was that, Mr. Eldred?
The information's all there.
Tractate Meadoth, with the commentary of Nachmanides, Amsterdam, 1717, 11-3-34. Is that our catalog listing, sir, 11-3-34?
Yes? Why?
Well, it's unfamiliar to me. No one's ever asked me for it in the 5 years I've been here.
Not everyone is a scholar of Hebrew, young man.
No, sir, I imagine not. Well, I'll get it for you, sir. Oh, if this should be out, will you take another edition of the Talmud?
No.
Yes, sir. Take care of the desk, will you, Peters?
Mr. Garrett will be as fast as possible, but the Hebrew collection is in the stacks on the top floor.
Hi, Bill. Oh, hello, George. Hurry. Member downstairs wants a Tractate Meadoth.
The what?
Yes, I don't know it either, but it's in our catalog, so we've got it. It's a rare edition of the Talmud. Donated to us in 1931 by Dr. John Rant. Whoever he is. What have you been doing up here?
Checking the Greek collection for any volumes that need rebinding. Why?
Oh, you've raised an awful lot of dust.
Well, I didn't do it.
Who else is up here?
Nobody. I'll see you later.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I never knew anyone was here. Excuse me, sir. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Eldred, but one of our members got there ahead of you.
You mean the book's out?
Well, yes. Well, no, it's still there, but an old gentleman was reading it, so...
What old gentleman?
A shortish old man, the retired schoolmaster type, you know.
Yes, I
If
know.
you'll wait 10 minutes until the library closes,
I can't wait.
Well, Mr. Eldred, he'll have to come down then, and if he hasn't got the book, I'll go up and...
I'm sorry, but my train. You have my address. Please send me the book when it's free. Good night.
Closing up, huh?
Yeah.
Past 5. Yeah. Well, I can leave, too. I'm through. Oh, say, did an old gentleman take out the Tractate Meadoth?
No one came down.
I guess he's still up there. I better go up and put him out.
No, there's nobody up there. I'll just shut off the lights myself.
No,
Come on,
no.
let's go.
No, I better check.
All right, I'll wait for you then.
Anybody here? Hello? Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir. I'm very sorry, but really...
Bill, you all right? Bill!
Vermont Express, train number 5504, will be receiving passengers.
Mother, don't
on
go
track
so fast.
number
We've got
11,
10 minutes.
leaving
There's
at
the train for New
6:05
Hampshire.
Eastern
Oh,
Standard
yes.
Time.
Oh, and look, there's ours right next to it, so we have nothing to worry about, see?
Oh, my poor child. We should have managed to port her somehow.
Mother, we can't manage anything.
Now, Mary, dear.
Well, all the way to Boston for nothing. And
Mary,
back to an empty boarding house with no boarders till next summer, and by then the Boston Bank will have our house. And when I think that all these years we could have been rich.
Don't think about it, dear. I don't anymore. Years ago, I put it right out of my head. If the Lord wanted me to have Uncle John Rand's fortune, he'd have let me find that will.
If there ever was
Attention,
one.
will
Yes, there
Mrs.
is.
Stanley
A
Rath
man,
please
even
report
a
to the station
strange,
master's
malicious,
office.
unhappy man like your Uncle John Rand wouldn't tell lies on his deathbed.
Oh, wouldn't he?
No, he wouldn't. I was there with him. He really wanted to leave me his money.
Then why didn't he write out a plain will and hand it to you? Why did he tell you you'd have to find it and then probably wouldn't recognize it if you did?
Well, he wasn't a very kind man. But now you know that when I went to nurse him through his last illness, he was grateful. And he was sorry that he hadn't helped me before.
So somebody else got the money and lived in luxury for
The
20
Vermont
years
Express
while we
now loading on track number
Oh,
11,
never mind.
leaving at 6:05
Come on,
Eastern Standard Time for Cambridge, Ayr, Winchendon, Bellows Falls, Ludlow, and Rutland.
Well, George?
Hi, Bill.
Come.
Not at all. Missed you this past week.
I missed you. Not that library.
Guess we're going to have to miss you for 2 more weeks, huh? While you sport in the mountain air?
It's hardly the time of year for sporting, is it? It's too early for skiing. Probably be the only visitor up there in the White Mountains.
Probably. Say, why don't you go to Vermont, Bill? Much prettier girls in Vermont.
I've got a ticket for New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know, but there's a train leaving for Vermont in 5 minutes. You could switch off, you could
Look,
get...
George, I'm going out of town to take a rest because the doctor suggested it. I'm going to New Hampshire because the doctor suggested New Hampshire.
All right. New Hampshire it is. But after what I just saw, I wish that lad had fallen on me.
You know why it fell.
Well, you collided with it in the dark.
George, I've told you, it wasn't dark. The lights were on, and I saw him. I saw that little old man, and he was horrible. That's when I backed away, and I hit the ladder. George, I tell you, his eyes, he didn't have real eyes. It was a spider and spider webs. You think it's a knock on my head, don't you? Well, maybe it is. It's true. I don't remember why I went up there. But I remember him. I saw him. I saw him just as plainly as I see you now.
Now, look, Bill, look. If you saw him, why didn't I? I was standing at the bottom of the stairs when I heard you fall. I found you less than a minute later. Nobody passed me, and nobody was there. Believe me.
I wish I could.
You will when you feel better.
Train number 302, the White Mountain Flyer, is now loading on track number 12.
I guess
This
you'd better
train will go to
go and find yourself a
Laurel,
seat, huh?
Nashua, Plymouth,
Thanks, George.
Woodsville, and Point
Get a good
North.
rest.
Thanks for coming.
Good luck.
Vermont Express, track 11, all aboard.
something wrong with me?
Why, was I staring?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I apologize.
You should.
Now, Mary, stop teasing Bill, or he'll be sorry that he ever met us on the train.
I'll never be sorry for that, Mrs. Simpson. You've been so kind since that train.
Nonsense.
Well, you took me into your house.
Oh, that was a terrible sacrifice for us, Mr. Garrett. What with the boarding house going begging for out-of-season boarders, we'd have taken in anybody at all. Wouldn't we, Mother?
Oh, Mary, now don't pay any attention to her. You know how girls are.
Well, I'm beginning to learn now, Mrs. Simpson. All my life I've been sort of quiet, and women have always known that the minute they laid eyes on me.
No interest in you, huh? Well, of course, if they'd met you the way I did first, dashing into a train all white and shaking as if the police were after you, and then collapsing against a seat. And this, mind you, at the last minute as the train was pulling out, they would have thought you were an escaped convict, too.
Mary.
And, of course, that would interest anyone in a romantic kind of way. And then you turn out to be a poor, nervous individual who's just getting over a frightful illness. And that would interest anyone in a maternal kind of way.
Mary, stop that this minute.
Oh, Mother, he likes it. Besides, it does him good to be teased. Well, just look at him, Mother. He's not the same man who came here a week ago.
That's my cooking, not your teasing.
Oh, it's both, isn't it, Bill?
Yes, it's both.
There, you see, Mother?
And it'll be all over in a week. I'll have to go back to Boston, that library.
Library? Oh, you mean you work in a public library?
Well, no, it's a bookman's library.
Oh.
Very academic, stuffy. I never told you before because I thought you'd think I was stuffy.
Oh, poor old Bill. Do you hate it?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm proud of it. To work in the bookman's, you have to be something of a scholar, you see. And all my life, I've loved books, so
Oh, I hadn't. A book cheated me out of my inheritance 20 years ago.
Tell him about it, Mother.
Oh, no, dear. It's too long a story.
Yes, but Bill might be able to help us. Bill, how could something be written in English, but my mother, if she saw it, wouldn't know it was in English?
You mean if they were deliberately trying to disguise the fact?
Yes.
Well, you could write English words in another alphabet. Hebrew, Arabic. As long as the fellow was a scholar and
Well, he was a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have his own school for boys up at Bretfield, Mass.
Who?
Well, this uncle of Mother's, a Dr. John Rant, he was a horrible, nasty...
Wait a minute, Mary. John Rand. I know that name. It means something. See, connected with the book. Schoolmaster. Oh, if only I could remember it.
Now see what you've done. Bill's all upset.
Really, I must remember it. I've got to remember it. I feel that I've met your uncle quite recently.
Well, that you couldn't have done, Bill. He's awfully dead.
Dead?
20 years ago, in October 1931.
1931, that's it. The tractate Meadoff was donated to to the Bookman's Library in 1931 by Dr. John Rand.
The what was donated, Bill?
The tractate Meadoff. It's a very rare edition of the Talmud.
Well, that's Hebrew. The Talmud's in Hebrew, isn't it?
Yes?
Well, Bill, for heaven's sake, was anything written in that book?
Well, no, I never got my hands on it. Schoolmaster. No, that's crazy.
What?
But if it wasn't, if it was true, what was written in that book, Mary?
A will?
In favor of your mother?
Yes.
A lot of money?
A fortune.
20 years ago, but your mother didn't inherit it. Who did?
Well, a cousin of hers, an heir by a previous will.
What was his name, Mary? Was it John Eldred?
Oh!
Yes.
I see. So John Eldred has been spending a fortune these last 20 years that rightfully belongs to your mother.
Yes.
And he knows that, doesn't he?
Yes.
And he also knows about a will and a book. Who told him? You, Mrs. Simpson?
I had to. When my uncle died, my cousin came at once to claim the house at Bretfield. So I had to ask him to let me search through the books.
Instead of which, he locked up all the books and ordered Mother out of the house.
And that was the end of that, because he must have discovered the book and the will and destroyed it.
No.
Oh, but he must have.
Then why is he trying so hard to find a book in a Boston library?
Well, you mean that Hebrew one, that tractate something?
Yes, Mary, the one that was donated to us 20 years ago. Only I don't know why it took Eldred so long to locate it.
I do. He didn't know any more than Mother which book the will was written in. So he had to search every book at Bretfield, page by page, and Mother says there were thousands of them.
I never saw so many in all my life. Why, the catalog was as thick as your head.
The catalog, that's it. He found out what books were missing after his search failed through the catalog. Then he went to all the dealers, the libraries, until at last, a year ago, he finally found out what book it was and where it was.
And he came for it a year ago?
Yes, that's why I saw him running down the stairs.
Well, then he did find the will. He did destroy it.
No, Mary. Not then and not 2 weeks ago either, when he tried again. Both times he was driven away by a little old man. Oh, looked like a schoolmaster.
Oh, no, Bill.
Yes, Mary. And it's the same man that stopped me from getting on the New Hampshire train. So that I could come here, to you, to hear this story. Mrs. Simpson, I think your Uncle John Rant does want you to have that fortune. And I think he wants me to help you to get it.
Can I help you?
Bill, we weren't expecting you back for another week. Judge, well, I'm not really back. I'm here on an errand. I want to borrow a book.
New Hampshire that dull?
Well, matter of fact, I never got to New Hampshire. But that's a long story. I'll tell you later. I'll go upstairs now and get the book.
Hey, wait, you're still an invalid now. Let me get the book. Tell me the name of it and I'll get it for you.
Well,
Come on, tell me.
I suppose there'll be no trouble. It's a tractate Meadows.
It's
for
out.
Out? Well, it can't be.
Well, yeah, we sent it out by parcel post.
When?
Yesterday. A member wrote in and asked for
Who?
it. So who was it, Peter?
John Eldred. Lives in Bretfield.
That's it.
You mean you went upstairs and got the tractate Meadows for Eldred? And no one stopped you?
Well, who'd stop me?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. Guess I'll have to go to Bretfield.
Mrs. Dawkins. Mrs. Dawkins, has a package come for me?
Oh, yes, Mr. Eldred. I'll get it just as soon as I light up.
Get it now, Mrs. Dawkins. The lights can wait, and I can't. It's a long way home from the village. And since I've had my bad heart, I shouldn't drive after dark.
Oh, yes, of course. All right.
And hurry, will you please?
Yes, yes. Oh, here you are.
Oh, yes, thanks. Thanks. Good night.
Mr. Eldred, what is it?
Hey, Eldred!
What's that?
I don't know. He's dead?
Better turn on some lights. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he's alive. Just had a bad shock, that's all. You better get a doctor. I'll take care of things here. You lost your homes, haven't you? He's gone. You see? Here it is. On the flyleaf of the book. Writing. Hebrew words, but they aren't really Hebrew words. They're English words. When I got back to Boston last night, I took it to an expert in the language, and he read it to me last night in the presence of a lawyer, and it's a perfectly valid will, leaving everything to your mother.
Oh, wait till Mother hears this. She's rich.
Yes, she is. So are you, Mary.
Well, of course I am. Aren't you glad?
Yes, I'm glad, Mary.
What? No, you're not, Bill, and I don't understand what... Oh. Bill, do you mean you'd stop liking a girl if she, if she suddenly had money?
Well, I couldn't very well stop liking her, could I? But... And I couldn't very well ask her to marry me either, could I?
Well, I think you could. Oh, darn Dr. Joseph Rant. Look what he's done now.
Mary. Mary, will you marry me?
Oh, yes, Bill. When?
The sooner the better, before he tries to put this right, too. He's made amends to your mother, so let's let him rest in peace.
I suppose a weird, practical joker like Dr. Rant can be a pretty nice fellow, in his place, that is. And this time, let's hope he stays there.
Mr. Pop.
Come in, Dunwich, Massachusetts. Come in, Dunwich. Good evening. This is Henry Armitage. I'm speaking to you for... Dr. Rice, please close the window. I'm speaking to you from my laboratory on the slopes of Sentinel Hill near Dunwich, Massachusetts. Present with me is Dr. Warren Rice, my distinguished colleague from Miskatonic University. We are now about 100 yards from the summit of the hill, which is crowned by a huge table-like stone set in the center of a circle of stone pillars, a place of prehistoric worship. A moment ago, you may have heard the dogs of Dunwich Township barking, as we have heard them for 3 days and 3 nights. Dr. Rice and I know the horror which their barking portends, but the purpose of this broadcast is to make this unbelievable horror believable to you. I hope for your sakes and ours we are successful tonight. It is the eve of All Hallows. Tomorrow will be too late. Our time tonight is very short, so I'll speak only of those more recent events which, believe me, may culminate at any moment in a climax too frightful to wholly contemplate. I will begin with the birth of Wilbur Whately. It was the night of February the 2nd, 1921, Candlemas. Toward dawn, when Lavinia Whately, a deformed albino woman about 35 years old, gave birth to her dark, goatish-looking son in the crumbling Whately farmhouse northeast of the village. No one attended her. No doctor or midwife. No one was with her, except her aged, half-insane father, who was known as Wizard Whately. So Wilbur came into this world under heaven knows what incantations, what appeals to what power. A week later, Wizard Whately drove his sleigh into Dunwich village and reported the event to a group of loungers in Osborne's general store.
Hey, your grandson got yellow hair like Lavinia, Wizard?
No, takes after his father more. He's dark.
You never spoke of who his father might be now, did you?
Oh, you know his father when the time comes. Oh, Lavinia's read and seen some things the most of you only talk about. Calculate her husband's as good as you can find this side of Aylesbury.
Well, we don't be nosy, Wizard.
Maybe it wanted no church that none of you heard of. But you wouldn't ask no better church wedding than Lavinia's.
Why, I didn't hear tell of no wedding, Wizard. When was that?
Oh, not a wedding you'd hear of, Corey. Not a husband you'd hear of, neither. But let me tell you something. Someday you folks will hear a child of Lavinia's calling its father's name on top of Sentinel Hill.
Prophecy? Or idle boasting by an insane old man? Oh, I know I ask a great deal when I ask you to believe that the arrival of an infant into that house of dire poverty and squalor could possibly constitute a horror and a threat to all our known world. Yet it has an earthly history. Perhaps through this history, you will be able to give it credence. Wilbur Whately's growth was uncanny. But even if he had been an average child, he would have become, in time, an unnatural being, for he was surrounded from the first by the most malign influences. There was his grandfather, old Whately, Wizard Whately, who each Halloween climbed Sentinel Hill to the great circle of stone, and while the hills shook, stood holding a great book open on his arms and shrieked into the wind. Shrieked.
Jump! Jump off! Jump! Jump off! Jump! Jump off!
Yog Sothoth, that dreadful name, first mentioned in the hideous forbidden book, the Necronomicon. And this Wizard Whately was Wilbur's teacher. The villagers began to notice curious things that were going on at the Whately farmhouse. Soon after Wilbur was born, old Whately began to remodel the house. The abandoned upper story was restored, and all the windows were tightly boarded up. And then, Wizard began to buy cattle in large numbers, both horses and cows. Yet the livestock on the farm didn't seem to increase. Young Lem Brown was one day curious enough to creep close to the house to count the Whately herd.
Dr. Armitage, there warn't more than 12 cows, and them sick. Looked like they had the blight and funny wounds on them, like cuts. I heard something, too, in the top part of Wizard's house. Something like water slapping inside, only big, big like a sea.
One other person went to the Whately farm in the years before I met Wilbur, Dr. Ken Houghton of Aylesbury, who was called by Wilbur himself, who said that his grandfather was dying. Dr. Houghton found the old man in a bedroom on the ground floor, and Wilbur with him. While outside the window, a legion of whippoorwills cried loudly and rhythmically, endlessly. Wilbur spoke about the sound.
Listen, they whistle in time with his breathing now. They're ready. Listen, Doctor. They know his soul's going out. They're waiting.
Yes, Wilbur, that's an interesting superstition. Late in the year for them, too.
And when he goes, if they catch him, they'll keep laughing till break of day. If they don't catch him, they'll quiet down.
You mean you believe that... Just a minute. I think he's conscious.
Yes, the birds changed when his breathing changed. Like
Willie,
I say.
Willie!
I'm here.
More space, Willie. Remember, more space soon.
Yes, I'll build it.
You grows, but that grows faster. It'll be ready to serve you soon, Willie.
I know.
But remember, when it's time, you open up the gates to Yog Sothoth with a long chant, the one on page 751 of the book. But mind you, feed it enough, 'cause if it gets out before you opens to Yog Sothoth, it's all over. It's no use.
He's going now. He's dead, Wilbur.
Listen. The birds, they didn't get him. Yes, he's free. He's gone.
winter following Wizard Whately's death that I first met Wilbur. He came in person to the library at Miskatonic University to consult a copy of the hideous Necronomicon, which was kept there in its Latin version, as printed in Spain in the 17th century. I tell you, when he came into my office, I was appalled at his appearance. 8 feet tall, shabby, dirty, bearded. But I was even more appalled by his voice when he spoke to me.
I wrote you a letter a month past, Doctor. I wanted a loan of the book.
Well, that's a book that's never loaned from this library. I doubt if it is from any library.
Well, I have to see it then.
Oh, very well. It's kept right here. As you know, there are only 3 copies of this book in existence. That's why we're careful. Here, you can look at it on this table.
Wizard said it would be on page 751.
What? What is it you're looking for?
The formula, the long chant, the one that opens the gate to Yog-Sothoth.
I felt a wave of fright as tangible as a draft from the tomb. He seemed, Hampal, like the spawn of another dimension, like something only partly of mankind, linked to black gulfs beyond all spheres of force and matter, space and time. And presently he raised his head and spoke again.
It's here, all right, but I'll have to have a copy.
Oh, that paragraph there? Oh, I don't
Do
know.
you know Latin, Doctor?
Yes, certainly.
Then read it, Doctor. Let's hear how you make it out.
All right, that shouldn't be difficult. Let's see. Nor is it to be thought that man is the oldest or the last of Earth's masters. The old ones were, and the old ones shall be. Not in the spaces that we know, but between them. But only Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate to where the old ones broke through of old. Their hands are at your throats, yet ye see them not.
Dr. Armitage, you see, I reckon I've got to take that book home. There's things in it I've got to try, and you can't hold me up.
No, I'm sorry.
I tell you, Doctor, I'll have the book sooner or later, no matter what. You see, that's waiting for me at home won't wait much longer.
It was a week later that I was awakened suddenly by the fierce yelping of the great watchdog on the campus, followed by a sound from a wholly different throat, a scream. And I knew instantly that Wilbur had come back for the Necronomicon. I hastened into my clothes and rushed across to the library where a crowd had gathered before the smashed window of my office. Inside, there was a fearful groaning and growling, and some instinct warned me that what was taking place there was not for unfortified eyes to see. I brushed back the crowd, motioning only to Professor Rice to come in with me. When we opened the study door, Professor Rice screamed.
No, Dr. Armitage, no, I can't.
Come, close the door. We can't let them see. She's alive, but Lord, what a job that dog's done. Torn him to bits. Oh, it's a horrible sound, that moaning. You suppose we ought to call a doctor?
A doctor? A doctor for that? No doctor in the world would know what to do for that. Look, Armitage, it's not human, nor animal. Where did it come from? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what it is?
of greenish-yellow stickiness, was 9 feet tall. And the dogs had torn off all the clothing and some of the skins. It was partly human, beyond a doubt, with very man-like hands and head, but the torso and lower parts of the body were fabulous. Its chest had the leathery hide of a crocodile or alligator. But below the waistline, the skin was covered with coarse black fur. And from the abdomen, long greenish-gray tentacles. The limbs terminated in ridgy-veined pads that were neither hooves nor claws. And as Dr. Rice and I stood staring at this presence, the whippoorwills began to cry in unison outside the study window. And then the thing on the floor roused and mumbled.
Armitage, in heaven's name.
Listen. The whippoorwill. Listen. Yes, he's dead now. Look, Rice. Look what's happening.
He's disintegrating.
Of course. Fast, too. Fading away. Because he isn't made of matter as we know it on Earth. I guess he took after his father, so there'll be nothing left.
His father? What was his father?
I daren't think. I thought then that what came into our world with Wilbur Whately left with him. I forgot what he himself had told me of it, which was waiting in the sealed house Wizard Whately had built, where the cattle were driven to disappear. But Wilbur Whately left a diary, written in a strange alphabet resembling Sanskrit. And I worked off and on for weeks to decipher it. And finally, I read the following passage written by Wilbur when he was no more than 8 years old.
That upstairs is more ahead of me than I had thought it would be, and is not like to have much earth brain. I can see it a little when I make the sign or blow the powder of Ivangatse at it. And it is like them I see Halloween on the hill. I wonder how I shall look when the earth is cleared and there are no earth beings. Maybe like that upstairs looks, which has no body, even fed with all the blood.
Toward morning, in a cold sweat of terror, I called Dr. Rice to my house and told him we have to destroy what's in that farmhouse.
Why can't we just leave the thing locked up there? The house is boarded tight.
Yes, but you think boards will hold it? Don't you realize, man, it hasn't been fed? It hasn't had blood since the 18th of September, when Wilbur Whately came here to die. We left for Dunwich that night, and we've been here on Sentinel Hill ever since, working desperately to discover the formula in time. But a week ago tonight, shortly after dawn... Yeah, hello?
Dr. Armitage, this is Lem Brown. I was just up beyond the glen, Doctor, looking for cows I lost last night.
Yes, Lem?
Well, Doctor, something's been there. Smells like thunder, and there's prints in the road. Great round prints, big as barrel heads, like a elephant has been along.
Anything else, Lem?
That's all I see. Except bushes and trees pushed back from the road like a house was drug along.
Did you hear anything?
Yes. Long toward morning, I heard a sound over toward Whately's place, a kind of ripping or tearing of wood, like a big box was being opened up. Chancy, he heard it too.
Lem, who lives nearest the Whately farm?
Why, that'd be Elmer Fry's place.
Oh, he's on this line too, isn't he? Hang on and I'll ring him.
Yes, Dr. Armitage, this is Central.
I'm trying to get Elmer Fry, Central.
Doctor, he must be out somewheres, and his whole family. I was ringing there an hour ago. Earl Sawyer saw Elmer's cows stampeding in Cold Spring Glen.
Oh, you didn't get him, hmm? All right. But if you hear or see anything more, let me know. I'll be here working all day. Rice! Rice! Oh, wake up. It's loose. It's out of the house. One family gone already. We have to work. Pray God we find that formula in time. A week since it broke loose. A week of terror and panic here in Dunwich Township. Each night it moves about the countryside, leaving the trees crushed in a 30-foot swathe, as though by a moving mountain, leaving its monstrous tracks on a trail of tarry stickiness, leaving crushed and gutted farmhouses and whole herds of cattle drained of blood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the story to this moment. And tonight is Halloween. Tonight we are here to... Oh, just one moment, please. Dr. Rice, did you hear something?
With the window closed, no.
Well, we'll throw it open. I thought so. Listen. The sound from 1,000 bending trees. A sound like the sea moving across a forest. Yes. Yes, it's coming here, of course. All Hallows, it comes to Sentinel Hill. Dr. Rice, I'll try the formula and the powder from the altar stone. I want you to stay here at the microphone and report what you see.
Very well, Dr. Armitage.
Oh, wait a minute before I go. To any scientists who may be listening to me, if I fail, there is a possible alternative formula in Falconer's mystical formulae of the Middle Ages on page 24. Listen. Well, there are the whippoorwills. I better get out there. Take over, Dr. Rice.
Yes. I'll do as well as I can, Armitage. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Armitage is climbing to the top of the hill, to the altar stone. I can see him plainly, for the moon is high and the night clear. Down the hill, toward the dark village, I can see the grasses and shrubbery bending down, marking the monster's ascent. It moves quite fast, and I feel the proximity to phases of being utterly forbidden. Now, Dr. Armitage stands now on the altar stone and is holding the powder which, if the books are correct, will make this thing for an instant visible. It is quite close to him now, perhaps 20 yards or less. He lifts his hands, he flings the powder in a wide arc. I can see... Oh, no! No!
Dr. Rice, come in, Dunwich. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your suspense announcer. Due to conditions... Oh, just a moment, please. One moment, please. Dr. Rice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, for a moment I was overcome when I saw... Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you can hear now the incantation of Dr. Armitage. Listen. The whippoorwills mean death. And Dr. Armitage is walking back here now. So we know that whatever it was, it is gone. It is dead. We can be thankful indeed. You see, I saw Dr. Armitage.
Yes. Did you see it, Dr. Rice?
I saw it, Lord, yes.
What did it look like to you?
It looked
here.
Like something made of squirming ropes, but bigger than a barn and shaped, well, like an egg. And dozens of legs, like barrels that half closed when it stepped, and nothing solid about it. And at least 15 or 20 mouths or trunks opening and closing, but what was it?
Oh, a kind of force. A kind of force that doesn't belong in our part of space. Did you notice the half face on top?
Half face, like a human face.
Yes, very large, but yes, quite human. And quite like Wilbur's, like all the Whateleys.
Then it was...
That's right. It was Wilbur's twin brother. And you saw what 3 weeks' growth had done. And it was the child of Lavinia's who called its father's name on Sentinel Hill, as Wizard Whately prophesied. You heard it calling, Yog Sotho. Ladies and gentlemen, this night is over. It is All Saints' Day. May heaven bless us all.
Susan? Susan! Susan!
ago yesterday, as a matter of fact, they brought David Fielding to the hospital. He'd been hit by a car, but he was yelling his head off about the forces of evil. They're out to get him, he said. Nutty stuff. The kind of thing that happens to people's minds sometimes. But when the police started checking, they found 3 bodies, and another guy was missing. A Dr. Waterman, a kind of weirdo professor from the university. I covered the story for my paper, but I couldn't come up with any satisfactory angle. Is that David?
Yes, it is.
Where's he been?
Electrotherapy. He's been a complete depressive since my first interview with him a year ago. So, as I told you on the telephone, I'm afraid you're in for a disappointment.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I wanted to give it another try, see if anything new had developed in the last year. The case is so bizarre, it kind of fascinates me. And frankly, things are kind of slow in the news business. What do you do with a guy in that shape?
Well, at this point, we're looking for anything that will elicit a response. Some reaction to give us a starting point for therapy. We administer mild electric shock, stimulants, and this little room down here. It's something new. I'll show you. It has 1 red wall and a light switch. He can choose to turn the light on or off, or either face the red wall or turn his back to it.
So what does he do?
Well, he has yet to do anything of his own volition. The only thing he pays any attention to is that little cross he carries. He got violent when the police tried to examine the cross, and we had to put him under sedation. Since then, he's been a complete melancholic.
If he's faking, could he possibly get away with it?
Please, Mr. Sloan, be aware that conjectures about illness in the human mind are the province of the psychiatrist. David, you have a visitor. The intercom is on, Mr. Sloan. We can hear you if you need us.
Thanks, I won't be long. How are you feeling, David? What's the cross for? To protect you from the curse? Dave, I've got something to show you.
Get him off of me! Get him off!
Here, this will make you feel better.
I thought you said he was the quiet type.
Yes, well, you never know.
No, máquina!
All right. Thank you, nurse.
Yes, sir.
Oh, here's the cross. Somehow I wound up with it.
My cross!
I hope I didn't mess up your therapy, Doc.
We'll see. This is the tape I made the day after they brought David in.
The one the cops had?
That's right. This is a copy. June 18th. Initial interview with David Fielding. David, I am Dr. Johansson. Do you remember me? We met yesterday down in receiving. Well, I'm not surprised if you don't. You were pretty upset. You kept insisting that someone was after you. You said they were going to kill you. Who are they, David? Now, we're all here to help you, David. We all want to help you. This gentleman is Detective Harrison.
Hello, David.
We can't help you if you won't let us, David. I think you're well enough to tell us about it. Why don't you try?
All right. I'll try. I suppose I've got to tell someone. Even if they think I'm crazy.
How did it start, David?
Saturday, I got a call from Dr. Waterman.
Who is Dr. Waterman?
He was my geology professor.
And why did he phone you?
Wanted to see me right away. His mountain cabin. Something important. Jim Hudson was with me. I asked if he could come along. He said okay. I told him we'd be there the next afternoon.
There were 2 girls with you, weren't there?
Yeah. Jim's girlfriend, Vicky, had a picnic planned. They decided to keep it on. Didn't tell me till the last minute. Even had a blind date for me.
So there was Jim and Vicky, and what was your blind date's name?
Susan Turner. She was just out here from New York. I was worried the professor wouldn't like it.
Why, David?
Well, he sounded so strange, kind of mysterious, and, well, nervous.
Did you explain this to your friends?
Yeah, I told Jim. He said the girls could wait in the car if necessary. We took my car and drove into the mountains. To change that awful station, Susan.
And then here's the shutter. Now, you press this button and it takes the picture.
Last picnic you brought your camera and then forgot all about that. Now you probably forgot to load the camera.
No, not this time. You sure this is the right road?
Yeah, I think so.
Looks like we took the wrong road.
Maybe we didn't. We might have to walk to get there.
Dr. Waterman's place is in the woods a little ways.
Why don't we walk up there and see if we can get a Coke or something?
Don't you think we ought to let Dave see Dr. Waterman, since we don't know what his plans are?
Water jug's in the car.
What'd you put in it?
Nothing. I thought you were supposed to put something in it.
Well, I thought you were going to put something in it. Why was
No,
I supposed
I don't
to?
believe it.
Come on, we'll go see.
It's very pretty up here.
Yeah, great place for a picnic with nothing to drink. You know, with all these trees around here, seems like there should be a stream somewhere.
There is, near the cabin.
Watch your step.
Oh. Oh, darn.
Jim.
Wow. What happened?
Is that Dr. Waterman's cabin?
Explosion. Stove or water heater, maybe.
No. It's caved in, not blown out. Doesn't look like he was there when it happened. No signs of life. Think I'll go
Can
up
I help you?
Oh, hello. You the ranger here?
That's right. Name's Asmodeus. You looking for someone?
Yeah, Dr. Waterman. That was his cabin. What happened to it?
I'm not sure. Could have been a boulder from up above.
Have you seen Dr. Waterman?
Are you friends of his?
Yeah, we had an appointment today.
He's not here. I haven't seen him. Anything I can do for you?
No, thank you.
We brought a picnic. I guess we'll have it and go back to town.
Well, have fun. See you later. You'll probably find Dr. Waterman back in town.
Right. Thank you.
Where's Vicky? Hey, what do you do? Hey, tell me I don't see that.
A castle.
I asked you not to tell me that.
Only been here once, and I'm not sure it's the same area. But I sure never saw or heard of a castle.
Far out. Looks like a picture on a travel folder.
Yeah, for Transylvania.
Let's go take a look at it.
Yeah.
How the heck do we get there?
Well, we can hike over that way and take a look.
Might be an entrance on the other side, but it's too far. This side's too steep for the girls to climb. Would like to get to it, though. It might be where Dr. Waterman is.
Well, doesn't cost anything to try.
Susan?
I'm with you.
This is the best way. See the road? Some picnic, huh? It came from in there, in the cave.
What was that?
How should I know? Anyone want to go in there?
I'd like to, if we had some way to see.
Have you got a flashlight in the car?
No, I haven't.
Matches. All right, we'll make some torches.
Torches. All right.
Hey, come here. Come on.
Hey, babe, what do you got here?
Well, look at this.
What a pair of gunboats. You're a geologist, Dave. What do you think? Ever unearth anything like this?
I think what we're about to unearth is a practical joker who plants phony footprints and makes weird noises in caves to put people on.
Now, watch your step. There's a lot of junk in here.
Yeah, there's something right here.
Well, come on, dummy. That's why I gave you the torch, so you wouldn't break your neck.
Well, my eyes haven't adjusted yet.
Just take your time.
Jim? Jim!
Where are you?
Jim, where are you?
This way, Jim. Down this way.
Vicky, where are you? Oh, Jim, hurry!
We're coming, Vicky. Stay where you are.
Jim, no, you're getting farther away.
Dead end. Turn back.
This is the right one, Dave. To the left. Here, around this bend.
Don't get too far in front of me, Jim.
Oh, Jim! Jim!
Vicky,
Oh, Jim! Jim!
you all right, babe?
Who the heck are you?
The book. That's what you're after.
We aren't looking for a book.
You're here. You have to take it. Come on. Come on.
Oh, is this weird?
Oh, let's follow him.
This way.
Do you really think we ought to follow him?
Well, he can't hurt us.
Come on. Come on. Here it is. The book. The real book. Now it's your book. Take it.
Don't you want it back?
Jim. Jim, there was a skeleton in there. Don't you think
Skeleton?
What's this about a skeleton?
I saw one in there, just before the
What
old
kind of skeleton?
Human.
Oh, come on. You didn't see a human skeleton. It was just...
Don't tell me what I didn't see. It was right in front of me.
In that torchlight? It was probably some animal or some
It
rocks.
was human.
Well, we could go back and see.
Oh, not this kid.
No matches. Now, look. We'll tell somebody back in town about it. And let them take care of it, okay? All right, feeling better?
Boy, I'd love to get this book open.
Well, let's have the picnic and examine the book.
Okay. You hungry?
Frankly, I'm starved. But let's do find a more wholesome atmosphere.
Why?
I can't believe that crazy old man has really been living in that cave.
Yeah, looked like he was.
How do you suppose he exists in there?
Doubt if we'll ever know.
Well, I took care of the beverage. Fresh mountain stream water. And I just hope you can cook chicken.
I'll have you know my chicken is of world renown. Voila.
Saved by the Colonel. Look at this. Yeah. Must be that pioneer stock in your background. Ooh. Lunchtime.
No, I want to get this open first.
You're sure fighting that thing.
The old man neglected to give us the key. Would you like to go back and ask him for it?
Here. Try this.
Well, well, we brought a Boy Scout with us.
Yes, we did. Wait a minute. You're gonna break the point off that thing. Let me do it, okay? Here, catch.
Ah!
Yeah. All right. Think I got it. Pretty clever. No springs, just two interlocking links.
Okay, open it, Jim.
Wow. What a stink. Where to keep this thing, in a sewer?
Smells more like rotten eggs. Sulfuric.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this?
Well, what is it?
Somebody's notes.
Well, what's it say?
Unknown preservative. Talks about the excellent condition of the book. A couple of chemicals that might be involved. Very knowledgeable. Very scientific.
So?
So if this is more the old man's put on, at least it's getting more interesting.
Hey, I didn't make all the stuff for the ants.
She didn't make all that for the ants. Okay, be right there. If the smell of this book doesn't make me lose my appetite. Look at this character. Have a...
Yeah.
Wow. This is some piece of literature. Only it's gonna be a little difficult to follow the story without a translation.
Come on, you guys. Let's have our picnic and go see that castle. Lot more interesting than some smelly old book.
Dear heart, why don't you dummy up?
She's right, Jim. We should try to find out where Dr. Waterman is. We can examine the book later.
Okay. All right, who made the potato salad? Joe's Delicatessen?
I made it myself.
Then I'll stick with the chicken.
Say, here's something I can read. Pretty well, anyway. It's in Latin. Nema? Forever glory, the and. Must mean and the. Power, the and. Kingdom, the is. Thou, thine. Oh, yeah? The is thine. Kingdom, the is thine.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't read anymore. I know what that is. That's the Lord's Prayer, backwards.
You know, I still keep thinking about that skeleton.
Oh, boy. Well, it's nice you have something to occupy your mind.
Heh.
Come on, Dave.
Hey!
What happened?
Dr. Waterman.
Sure?
Yeah, I got a glimpse of him. He has the book.
You stay here.
Oh.
What happened?
Must have hit his head on a rock. I can't feel any... Jim, he's dead. I can't believe it. It was just a fall.
Dave, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I've seen dead bodies before.
Come on. Let's get him out of the water.
We'll go back and tell the girls, and we'll go to the police and make a report.
Listen, I know you and Dr. Waterman were close, but you can't blame yourself for his death. It was an accident. The way he ran from us, he did it himself. Now, he's not exact... Where are you going?
He's gone. This is the place. If he got up, there would have been footprints. It's as though he just disappeared.
Yeah.
If anyone else were here, we would have seen them, wouldn't we?
I think so. Those footprints are our own. Dave, a minute ago, Dr. Waterman was lying here dead. And now he's gone. Flesh, bones, blood, all are gone, if he really was dead.
Sulfuric acid. Can you smell the sulfur?
Yeah, but what does that mean? He burned up in a bed of sulfur?
Lose something?
Hi there. Say, have you seen Dr. Waterman?
No, I'm afraid not. Thought we agreed he was back in town.
Well, he was just here.
He was just here yesterday when he phoned. We wondered if you'd seen him since then.
No. If he were around here, I think I'd know it. Did you have your picnic yet?
Yeah, back there.
Well, I'd like to ask you to leave the area like you found it, if you will. People camp and picnic around here, and they sometimes leave an awful mess.
Yes, sir. We cleaned up.
Never knew we were there. By the way, in a cave back up that way, we ran into some weird old character in a book.
Yeah, he was a weird old character right out of a book, like he said. He gave us quite a scare at first.
That cave. I should have warned you. Now, that place is really dangerous. You shouldn't go in there.
Well, we're about ready to leave anyway.
Well, there were some footprints. Really big. Like nothing you ever saw before. Like a monster or something.
Monster. Well, there used to be a few brown bears around here, maybe an occasional mountain lion, but I'm afraid we're fresh out of monsters.
It was probably that crazy old man's idea of a joke.
Well, maybe I'll just look in on your friend. See you later.
Right. Oh, I forgot to ask him about the castle. What are you going to do now?
I just want to think about it for a minute.
Listen, if those guys start yakking with Dr. Waterman or somebody, we could still be here this time tomorrow. I think we ought to find them.
Well, they might come back a different way, and we could miss them. I'll stay here if you want to go ahead and find them.
Okay, you hold the fort. I'll bring them right back, by the ears.
Okay. I can understand not telling him about Dr. Waterman, but why shouldn't I have mentioned the book?
It may be an important find. I just don't think we should advertise it.
But what's a range you're going to do with an old book?
Jim, I don't know. I just want to try and figure out this Dr. Waterman thing.
Yeah. Well, the girls are going to be frantic, and I think we ought to get back to them.
All right, let's go.
Hey, listen, man, this thing is getting pretty far out. Do you think Dr. Waterman was sick or anything?
I don't know of any chronic condition Dr. Waterman might have had that could have put him in a catatonic coma like that to make him appear dead.
That kind of stuff is out of my league. I wouldn't know a catatonic coma if it bit me. Have you thought of anybody back in town you could talk to? Do you know who his doctor is?
No, but if we don't find him ourselves, we'll have to tell the police, and they'll do all that. Susan! Susan? Susan, are you all right?
Oh, David. Yes, I'm fine.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess I just fell.
Here, you better sit down. What's this?
Oh, my cross. I guess I've broken the chain. I'm all right, really.
Susan, something's happened. Something really strange. We were chasing Dr. Waterman and he fell. And we thought he was dead. We were going to go back to town and call the police. But I just couldn't leave him there, and so we went back. And he was gone.
Gone, but...
I don't know. I don't have a single theory. I've never known him to do anything strange. Like the way he took that book and ran. It could be brain damage or mental disorder of some kind. Or maybe he was in that house when it was wrecked. That's the only thing that could explain his behavior, some mental aberration. He might even be suffering from...
Look, here's Dr. Waterman's name.
What?
I found this piece of paper in the book with his name on it.
Well, what does it say?
Wow, listen to this. It's Dr. Waterman, all right. It's his notes about this book. Translation goes along smoothly, then completely bogs down as the book indiscriminately changes languages. I believe tests will prove the book to be 1,000 years old. If not as old as the Dead Sea Scrolls, evidently from the opposite camp. Absorbed in the difficult task of translation, I was at first unaware of the meaning of this rare and unique text. It seems to be a very veritable Bible of evil, witchcraft or demonism, as it was practiced in the remote area of the Persian Gulf, where the book was found. From the time I first laid hands on the book, I heard nothing but rumors and vague warnings of its danger, all from the superstitious people of the area. Quite different than anything else I have seen, it approaches the subject very methodically, as an absolute, as though its doctrines were widely practiced in its era and place. Also found the philosophy of the book to be fascinating, considering its ancient origin. The forces of good and evil coexist throughout the universe and in the minds of men. The object of each force and its practitioners is to lessen or cancel as much as possible the effectiveness of the opposite force. The adept demonologist held a position of high honor. The practice of evil and destruction is put forward as a joy and reward in itself. Practitioners of evil who compile this book use symbols to counteract the effectiveness of good. Many combinations of symbols for both forces are listed. However, as the practitioner needed certain symbols of good to protect himself from the demons he brought forth and created. Manipulation of these symbols is treated exactly like the science of chemistry. This element changes that one symbol as a catalyst, another as an agent or counteractant. Strangely enough, in the list of symbols for good are some very familiar ones. The cross and the double triangle Star of David, if made of certain metals, are among them. In actual practice, of course, the science of demonology as outlined in the book is much more complicated than I have indicated here. which brings me to the point where I now stand. In full scientific skepticism, but with much personal curiosity, I have set up and executed some experiments as diagrammed in the book. In a nearby secluded area, I followed to the best of my knowledge the instructions for some of the simpler manifestations, the last of which produced fantastic results. It worked. I felt as though I had found the fabled touchstone. I could see myself changing the entire structure of modern science. More recently, however, I've come to feel that my experiments were somewhat premature of my knowledge on the subject. There is instability. I am unable to control what I have created. Looks like a scrawl. Pandora's box? They are attracted to the book like flies. No, I can't read it.
It's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of it, Dave?
I don't know. Unless we talk to Dr. Waterman, we may never know.
Well, so what are we going to do now?
I'd still like to try that castle.
You don't think he's still up there, do you?
Jim, I don't know. But if we can't find Dr. Waterman, I'd like to at least find someone who's seen or talked to him lately, okay?
Okay.
It's gone!
This is the place, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes, yes it is. It was right over there when I saw it.
Okay, okay. Try to maintain, will you? Well, what now, Maestro?
Looks like we have to give some credence to Dr. Waterman's notes, doesn't it?
Huh? He means we have to believe the man now.
Let's go up there, Jim, and see if we can find anything.
Okay. It's pretty steep. You girls wait here.
Now, wait a minute. You guys may enjoy this open-air magic show, but I'm getting the creeps.
Take it easy, love. We're okay.
Come on, can't we just go home?
We can. But if we leave here without trying to find out what's going on, I, for one, am going to feel very foolish when we tell our story back in town.
Speak for yourself, Sir Lancelot.
Hey, look, here in the book, in Dr. Waterman's notes, he says there are symbols that protect a person from whatever. Let's see, Susan has a cross. Does anyone else have a cross or a star, David?
No.
Well, let's see what we can find. Here it is.
Here's one we can make.
How?
Some willow twigs.
That's neat. Your major was basket weaving.
Yes.
Put them inside your shirts. They have to be next to your body.
Gee, I feel kind of left out.
Bless you, my child. If the rest of us weren't such heathens, I wouldn't have had to go to all this trouble.
Well, you can thank me for the thread that's holding them together. Now I just hope I don't fall apart.
Oh, I don't know. Seems like a pretty nice place to start a nudist colony.
Keep your eye on that, will you?
Hold it.
Hey, look, don't horse around up there, okay? Just do your thing long enough to feel real manly, and then let's get out of here. Please.
Boy, you could grow up to be a real fuss budget. Look, promise me you'll be a good girl and don't get Susan all upset too, all right?
Well, what are we going to do now?
Find a comfortable rock, sit back, and wait for them.
Watch those yucca spines. They stick like crazy. Just around that cliff.
I'll take your picture.
You sure you know how to use it?
Yeah, Jim showed me how.
Okay.
The light's not very good here. Why don't you sit over by the stream?
No, it's not here. Get out! Get out! I ain't got it, I told you. No, no.
It's about 20 feet from here, wasn't it?
I think so.
That's the first live thing I've seen around here all day. Hey! Dave! Come here. This is it. Hold it. Can you see it?
See what? What are you talking about?
Wait, I'll show you. Watch this.
Watch what? What in the... I can see it now. Dr. Waterman's notes. Instability. This thing must fluctuate.
Wow. Davy boy, figure this one out, and our fortune is made in showbiz. The Rover Boys and their disappearing castle. Now you see it, now you don't.
I wonder if that castle's still there.
Yeah, and/or, Dr. Waterman.
There you are.
Is that okay?
Okay, now, just a second.
Help! Save me! Help me! Help me! Help!
The girl. Throw rocks. Get his attention.
up on top. Throw rocks down. Try to get his attention.
Wait there. Dave?
What happened? Where is he?
There. He's not moving. I think you killed him.
Better go see.
Whose nightmare is that thing?
That's a whole lifetime of nightmares.
Dave, did you notice? One of the pictures in the book. It looks like this thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's one of Dr. Waterman's experiments that went haywire.
That poor old man! Jim, that thing! Oh, it killed the old man from the cave!
What?
It was chasing him when we saw it. It caught him.
Let's go! Let's get out of here!
No, first we have to take care of the old man's body. Then we'd better notify the authorities.
Oh, can't we just tell that ranger and let him take care of it?
Yeah, if we knew where to find him. We don't even know where the station is.
Yeah, and that ranger would try to tell us it was Smokey the Bear.
They're gonna sure think we're crazy when we tell them about this thing.
My camera. I'll get it and take a picture.
Good.
Oh, darn. Jim, the hand, it moved.
Must have been a reflex or something. It's dead, honey. We're safe. I'll go this way. Now I'll take a picture and meet you later.
I don't like all this splitting up.
No. This is the quickest way. Now you go with Davis, Sue, and see about that old man. And help take the picnic gear back to the car, here?
Oh, boy, I knew you'd find a way to get out of all the work.
around here someplace, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was right over there, I think.
I'd better go along.
I just don't believe this day. You know, I keep thinking that pretty soon I'll wake up and...
Susan, Beckett, what?
She's gone crazy. She's an animal.
Hello? Anybody here?
It's a shame, isn't it? I mean, the way people mess up the countryside like that.
Mr. Asmodeus, I was just looking for you.
Yeah, well, I was just looking for you, too, kid. You people have the book, don't you?
Whoa.
You have the book, and you're going to give it to me. If you knew what was in that book, you'd turn to jelly. It's not meant for worms like you. What did you think you were going to do with it? Sell it to a museum? Why didn't you tell me? Damn heaven! All right. I underestimated you. Put it away. You're safe. Put it away. I gotta hand it to you, kid. Not many people could have come up with that. So we'll make a deal, huh? Let me tell you, I can make a deal like nobody you ever saw.
Who are you?
It's not who I am. It's what I can do for you. What do you want? Anything in the world. Name it. Money, prestige, girls. You could have all the things you've ever dreamed of. You want proof? Well, let's see, there ought to be some proof walking around here somewhere. Or maybe you've seen him. My large simian friend, the 30-foot ape. I see you have. Let me tell you, kid, the supply is limitless. Now, if I can create creatures like that, you know I can fulfill my promise. All you have to do is give me the book and discredit any story your friends tell back in town, and you can have anything in this world you want.
Why is that book so important to you?
Listen, kid, you've got some protection right now. But don't think that can save you. You've been lucky so far, but I haven't tried yet. So make up your mind. Which one of those girls is yours? The tall one? The other one? Well, I haven't got to her yet, but I will. You better think fast, kid. Take my offer or you and your friends are as good as dead.
All the money you ever want, kid.
It'll be all right. Susan, remember what Dr. Waterman said in his notes? He said that good and evil coexist throughout the universe and in everybody's mind.
No, not what was in my mind. Nobody has thoughts, feelings like that. Nobody human, anyway.
Listen, what was done can be undone if you have the knowledge. And we have it. Or we will have with the book.
That man, that whatever he is, How could he do a thing like this? Dave, I didn't even remember it until just now.
Well, maybe that's a good sign.
Oh, damn!
Here, let me help you.
Oh, it's no use. Oh, they just break. Where's Jim? We've got to get out of here.
Take it easy, Vicky. Jim will be back. He has to come this way. Vicky, any one symbol or Susan's cross will protect the entire group from whatever. It's only when we separate that we're...
Oh, yeah? Then why'd you spend all that time trying to find Susan's cross? You've got a symbol.
We'll take my symbol.
No. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Take care of Susan.
Oh, Vicky, I'm
Don't
so...
apologize again, Susan. Please, I'm all right. Look, it wasn't your... Oh, God. I've got to find Jim.
Vicky! Vicky, stop! Stop! We've got to stick together. If you run after Jim, we'll lose him. He'll be back this way.
David, I'm so scared.
We're gonna make it, Vicky. He'll be along. We'll be all right, Vicky.
I'm sorry. Susan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it worse for you.
Here comes Jim.
Oh, Jim!
We've got to get out of here, now. And leave that book.
What?
That Mr. Asmodeus. He was the one who made that.
Yeah, we know. He's done something to Susan, but we're not leaving that book.
We've got to. He says he'll kill us if we don't. He made the monster.
Like it or not, we have a responsibility to ourselves, if no one else. What he did to Susan, well, with the book, she can be helped. But without it, it just...
What did he do?
Never mind that. Let's get the book and get out of here.
Yes, but what if he comes back?
Look,
We're gonna be...
if Asmodeus comes back, Asmodeus. I just remembered. Asmodeus is another name for the devil.
The devil?
I believe it. You should have seen him in action.
Oh, my God.
Go get the book and let's get out of here.
Okay.
Jim, look! Over there! Stay back here, out of the way. Jim, use your symbol. His back's to me.
Mr. Asmodeus? Mr. Asmodeus, where are you? See, you can hear me.
He disappeared! Oh, my God, he disappeared!
Stay here. I'm going through the barrier. See if I can help Jim. Now give me 2 minutes.
Dave! Here, quick! The book! Grab me!
Grab his arm!
Hurry! No! No!
Jim! Oh, Jim!
Got to get out of here quick. Take the car and get help.
No! He's right, Vicky. Come on.
here.
Here, let me help you. Okay?
Where'd the girls go?
Well, I sent them back to the car to go to the police or get help.
With the book?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's stop them.
Jim? Hold it! Hold up. No use running. I forgot to give them the keys.
Which one of them has the book?
Susan, but...
Which way is the car?
Well, that way, but we...
Good. We'll split up.
No, I don't think we should.
If you find them first, yell.
Jim? Jim? You're not Jim, are you? What have you done to Jim? What are you?
You are all such fools. You and your friend Waterman, who was handed the secrets of the powers of darkness and then didn't know what to do with them. That barrier is the result of his work. Ha! Now do you see how helpless you are? And now for those two girls.
David! David! David, oh, David! David, wake up! David, wake up, please! David! David!
Suzanne? Susan, the cross.
David?
Susan, you okay? Come on.
David! David, those feelings!
Into the woods. make it. We'll be all right. I've got the cross. If we can just get to the highway, we'll flag a car.
Oh, David, my head. David! Oh, David!
Come on.
You will not escape. In 1 year and 1 day, you will be dead.
Is that the whole story, David?
Yes, that's all of it.
I'll have to take that cross with me, David. The crime lab wants it.
No! No! No, you can't!
Get it back.
No! No, you
Nurse.
can't take my cross!
Nurse.
They'll kill me!
Did you hear anything usable for your newspaper story?
I'm afraid not.
What about the police?
No, I was there first. I was in hopes something would happen. Something I could get a story out of. But this, it's a year old.
So, what did you expect to happen?
I don't know. But it's been exactly a year and a day since that made news. My editor wanted a follow-up.
Well, then this is it. A year and a day.
That's right. But it doesn't look like he's going to do anything.
Oh, my God! My God! It's out! My God! Let me out! Get out of my God!
Thanks for your time, Doctor.
My cross!
My cross! Where is my cross? My cross!
Shaking, you tweaking, you crawling, leaving track marks all up and down your walls. Come on now, girl, you can't live, I mean.